sold thousands of those too?
Thousands of those.
So that's what put you in a TBM?
No.
So our lake today is 4 something.
Right. I mean,
yeah, it's doable.
The big difference was what was underneath was not landable.
Not at all. Not the water, not the ice cap.
Today, good friend Steve and I are off on a 4-day jaunt for a LightHawk pilot get-together. This first episode is the outbound leg to Tucson, followed by a meeting and a lunch trip across the border. For our return, there just might be a bit of weather to work with. Welcome aboard. For our first leg, we can expect some bumps. With clear skies and reasonable winds. As is my habit, we select an IFR-compatible route and tweak a little to avoid the LA Class Bravo.
Santa Barbara clearance, Diamond Star, November 211 Whiskey Papa, VFR Tucson, Tango Uniform Sierra, 9,500 info X-ray.
Diamond Star 1 Whiskey Papa, expect runway 15, on departure, fly runway heading. Maintain VFR at or below 1,500. Departure frequency 125.4, squawk 1307, and sorry if I missed that verify information X-ray.
Affirmative X-ray, expect runway 15, fly runway heading, VFR at or below 1,500, 125.4, 1307.
Diamond Star 1 Whiskey Papa, readback is correct, contact now ground point 7 rate taxi.
Photograph, thanks, good day. Tower Diamond Star 211 Whiskey Papa, holding sharp 15 left, ready for VFR departure.
Diamond Star 211 Whiskey Papa, Santa Barbara Tower, wind calm, runway 15 left, cleared for takeoff.
15 left, cleared for takeoff, 1 Whiskey Papa. Fuel pump, mixture, landing light, and door. Okay, oil pressure good. Okay, now gentle.
15 left, cleared for the opposite.
Perfect,
perfect.
VY is what?
Now let's go like 75 knots at the beginning here. Okay. So that's what I have coded in the flight director.
Okay.
It's looking good.
Diamond Star 1 Whiskey Papa, contact departure, good day.
Departure, 211 Whiskey Papa, good day. Departure, Diamond Star 211 Whiskey Papa, 600 climbing, 1,500 runway heading.
Number 211 Whiskey Papa, Santa Barbara departure, radar contact, heading 120, altitude restrictions cancel.
Heading 120 on altitude, 1 Whiskey Papa.
Number 1 Whiskey Papa, resume on navigation.
Oh, nav, 1 Whiskey Papa.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah.
5.
Quite a bit of rudder force, isn't it?
8.65.
Yeah, surprisingly. Although, to be honest, it doesn't mean a lot. On a long cruise climb, I've done it with the rudder in and without the rudder in, and I don't notice any change in climb rate.
Wow, that's interesting.
I think the whole side profile of this plane is
very
pretty
clean.
skinny.
Very gliderish.
Yeah.
Well, if I had a Diamond Star and I had a G1000, I think I would fly from the right seat. Because I like, with all my glider time, holding it with the right hand. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really clear day, man. Oh, 95 gets us over all the mountains on this route.
Papa, contact LA Center 135.5.
And
1355, 1 Whiskey Papa, good day. LA Center, Diamond Star 211 Whiskey Papa, 6,300 climbing, 9,500.
211 Whiskey Papa, Los Angeles Center, the AltAlert altimeter 3009er.
09er, and good morning, 1 Whiskey Papa. Okay, that's good. My headset's been working perfectly.
Good. You have batteries in there anyway, though, right?
No, I don't.
Really?
I have them on board. But,
8,000.
And good morning to the viewers. And we've got Steve in the right seat. And glad you're with us. We're off to Tucson today. for a LightHawk meeting. More details on that later. Steve's a longtime pilot, from Owls to 182s to TBMs, and glad to have him on board. Tell us about yourself, Steve.
Hi, I moved to Santa Barbara about 5 years ago from the East Coast because our children decided to immigrate here from the East Coast, and there's no chance they'll be going back. And it has its benefits. I just became a grandparent, and I get to see my grandchild, so that's the number one benefit. Of course, there's nothing wrong with the weather either.
Oh, particularly today, it's gorgeous.
And I base my 182 at the same airport that Wayne has the Diamond Star, and we've become good buddies and fly together quite often. And looking forward to today's trip to Tucson, and there'll be a little side trip to Mexico in a couple days. So I started flying while I was in college in 1963. Started in gliders and finally powered aircraft in the early 80s, and ended up with a series of single-engine piston, and got a TBM 700 in 2008, and sold that when I no longer could justify the insurance, which was going higher and higher along with my age. And so I went back to a 182, and I have no regrets. I have a great time with it. I managed to commute from California to Maine twice a year, and enjoy that trip, take a different route every time, and it's been a lot of fun.
It's got a turbo 182, very nice plane, one of the restarts in the early 2000s, hell of a plane. Well, welcome on board today. We're going to have some fun, and we'll take you on a bit of the journey to Mexico day after tomorrow. So what we're doing in Tucson is it's going to be a small collection, maybe half a dozen pilots for LightHawk. This is a conservation group that my good friend Bill and I both fly with, and Bill and I are doing a little bit of a primer for this handful of pilots on border crossings into Mexico. I'm a relative novice, having crossed a few dozen times. Bill's crossed several hundred times into Mexico and down into Central America. So we're going to do a little primer, and then on Thursday we'll hop in two planes. It looks like a King Air. Steve and I will be in a King Air with pilot Mike, and Bill will be in a 182, a Bravo model from, I think, the late 50s, actually. Shows you how durable they are. Bill will be in the 182 with David and his wife Martha, and we're going to take a 1-hour jaunt over to Puerto Penasco, and they'll go through all the normal paperwork of getting a multi-entry permit.
Oh, is that the Salton Sea?
Correct. I did a LightHawk flight, a couple of them, just before COVID. I took an Audubon observer around the Salton Sea, flying at 500 AGL, looking for bird refuge areas. Okay, so for the viewers, Steve's a long-time inventor in and around the aviation industry. I'm going to give a little chat about the various products he's designed, produced, sold, and how that all went. When did you start?
Well, I started in 1987, and my first product was a device called the AltAlert 3070, and it was an altitude alerter that fit in a 2¼ inch instrument hole connected to your encoder.
One of these guys?
Exactly that size. And it had two concentric knobs and a 4-character LED display, character display. And you could set an altitude in that you wanted to climb to or descend to. And as you came close to that altitude, it would beep at you, and it would show level on the display, and you would level off. If you busted the altitude, either continued climbing or descending, or drifted up or down from your assigned altitude, at 200 feet of deviation, it would also beep at you and tell you to descend or climb to get back to it. In addition, it had a gear alert. If you had a retractable gear airplane, you could dial in the destination airport's altitude, and when you got at 500 AGL, it would beep at you and display the word gear, so you had a last-minute check to see that your gear was down.
Oh, cool.
And we sold several thousand of those. And my next product was called the NavAlert, and it was a little tiny instrument, little display bar, about 2 inches long and a ½ inch high. It had two 4-character LED displays, and it would display any two of about 15 GPS parameters. So you could have ground speed or ground track. It would show a CDI, a little miniature CDI on there, as well as actually a little miniature glide slope, so it could actually be a backup CDI glide slope head.
And you sold thousands of those too?
Thousands of those.
Well, that's what put you in a TBM?
No. No, that business grew into a airborne satellite communications business where we made iridium-based telephones and tracking systems. And the tracking systems were very popular with helicopter operators, primarily operating over water, medevac helicopters, and firefighting helicopters. And we sold about 8,000 of those.
So again, for the viewers, tell us about the trip in the 182 turbo retractable to Europe. How did that go? And
okay, that trip was done before GPS. It was done in 1986. So the route was basically from Baltimore, almost due north to Baffin Island. And so from there, I flew the longest leg of the flight from Iqaluit to Greenland, which was about a third over land on the rest of Baffin Island and the rest over the Davis Strait. And that whole leg is only 475 nautical miles. Since I had good range in the 182, there was no need to have extra fuel tanks. From there, I flew over the ice cap at 14,000 feet and landed on the east coast of Greenland. And then from there, it was a straight shot to Iceland, to Reykjavik.
I'm looking at the numbers. So the longest leg was at Baffin Island to Greenland.
Right.
But that was only like
475.
475. So our leg today is 4 something.
Right. I mean,
yeah, it's doable.
The big difference was what was underneath was not landable.
Not at all. Not the water, not the ice cap.
And then from Iceland, the goal was to fly to Norway with a fuel stop in the Shetland Islands in Scotland. Winds were not as expected. I said, okay, I'll land at the Faroe Islands and get fuel, which was well within range. Turns out there was a big storm system right over the Faroes, and the airport was at minimums. And the approach involved 3 NDBs to get lined up on a localizer approach. 6 step-downs. Well, we broke out at minimums. The airplane behind us did not get in. So we refueled there, got some food, and then went on to Norway directly from there. And as we touched down in Bergen, Norway, a red fox ran across the runway right in front of us. I guess that was a good luck sign.
And again, the longest leg, 475.
475 nautical miles.
Logistics 45, contact
wow.
133.2.
Exciting.
Miles northeast.
Well, that's a good travel log, Steve. Thank you.
Very welcome. It was a fun trip. Actually left out the most unbelievable part of the trip.
I think you had it.
The damage on the ground. Yeah, that's sweet. The problem we had was fortunately on the ground. We were leaving from Gothenburg to go to Denmark. I'm in the flight service station, and my wife walks in tears, and she said, "Taxi cab just drove into your airplane." And I said, "What did he hit?" She said, "The wing." The taxi cab had driven under the wing, which would have been just fine, plenty of clearance, except for the big steel rim sign on the roof that went into the rear edge of the aileron and crushed it. So there was a little office with a light on. I went in, and there was a guy there. Started making phone call after phone call, and he finally hung up and said, "Okay, we got it solved." There was 172 that was in an accident here last month, and we're parting it out. And I just bought the aileron from the guy. I said, "It needs a different balance weight, and your balance weight's fine, so we're just going to take it off yours and put it on his." Mounted it on the airplane, balanced the aileron first. They actually had a balancing rig, and I took it for a test flight and landed, and he said, "You're good to go."
You are lucky.
Oh, that was the story. And the aileron was actually the right color.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Our headwind is holding on.
Still 15?
17 now.
Wow.
We should land with 15 gallons.
Okay, great.
Even at this current airspeed, which is...
And our burn rate is like 10.
Army 50
burn rate is
cross J
7-4.
Wow.
Cross big go at 17.
Wow.
Okay, we're doing pretty well, my friend. 12 miles to Blythe.
I noticed there's going to be some overcast later in the week, like Thursday, I think. Oh.
Yeah, there could be some precip too. Center Star 211, Whiskey Papa, starting our descent for Tucson.
Roger.
I am absolutely, Steve, enjoying my Limo adapter.
Good. Great.
No batteries, no worries.
Number 1 Whiskey Papa, where are you parking today?
Tucson Jet Center, please. 1 Whiskey Papa.
Number 1 Whiskey Papa, roger, make straight in, runway 11 left.
Straight in, 11 left, 1 Whiskey Papa, thanks.
Number 1 Whiskey Papa, in our left base, runway 3. Again, the current wind is 320 at 5.
Left base, runway 3, 1 Whiskey Papa.
Number 1 Whiskey Papa, contact Tucson Tower, 118.3, have a good day.
Over to Tower, 1 Whiskey Papa, have a great day. Tucson Tower, Star 211, Whiskey Papa, expecting left base, runway 3.
Diamond Star 211 Whiskey Papa, Tucson Tower, enter left base, runway 3. Runway 3, clear to land.
Runway 3, clear to land.
Great.
Okay, let's go 1 notch. Tower 1 Whiskey Papa, request long landing.
Number 1 Whiskey Papa, long landing approved. Say parking.
Approved. Tucson Jet Center, please. 1 Whiskey Papa.
Roger.
Speed up taxi a little.
Very good.
If you enjoyed this video, please smash the thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. Thanks for flying with us.